Okay, let's pray. Dear God, we thank you again tonight. We come to learn about your words and also many things about your kingdom and your work. We know that we are not worthy, and we know that by your grace, your mercy alone, that we are here today to learn a lot of things and to serve you. We know that each one of us struggling in their life, in their responsibility, but give us the joy of New Year, the hope of living by your grace. Be with us every day that we can bear the burden of responsibility and hope for the better future that you have for us. Help us that we have big hope in you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Let's see. Okay, tonight chapter 4 is about ethnic churches. We're going to talk about the church of minority, you might call that, because ethnic church in America, most of the time, it means small churches or ethnic churches. It means that majority of people in America are white. You might say that up to 80% of people in America are white. In some part, it's up to 90% or 95, 98%. But in big city, it's more mixed. In big city everywhere, like in New York, in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, minority make up to 20, 30% of people there. And the big group of minority, like black, may be concentrated in certain city in the South, Asian concentrated in New York or in Los Angeles or San Francisco area. And this is make them have we call ethnic church. Ethnic church mainly concentrate on a certain group of people. They get together because of language or culture. Like we have Thai church, Lao church, Mien church, Hmong church, Korean church, or many groups because of culture and language. And that bring us together at the church. And one thing you see that a lot of minority or people call ethnic churches are in big city. And the question is why we don't spread out everywhere? No, because minority or ethnic people in the past 50 years came to America after the War of Vietnam. I talk about Southeast Asian. So they concentrate in big city because of all the church organization that brought them here, put them there. Or because a lot of their family already settled down there. So this is why they concentrate in certain cities, certain area. And that's how they start their church. Now, in the chapter, we will talk about the churches or the ethnic churches, what model they have after 50 years. And here in this article, we talk about four kind of model of ethnic or cultural church that exist in America today. The first we call monocultural model, mean that just one group of people, like Mien church, only Mien speak Mien culture language, and majority are Mien. This will be called monoculture, or Thai, or Lao, or Hmong, or Korean, or Burmese, or whatever. Mono mean that one culture only. So you have enough people to concentrate on just one culture, one group of people. Now, the second group we call friendship. Well, it's a little bit different. Friendship more of mix now. You have more mix of people in your group. And you have to select one language, major language. Or you might have to use two languages or two culture and be more flexible. Why you have to do that? Well, the second model happened because your people intermarriage with another group of people. A lot of people marry to another group of people. So now you have mixed culture in your church, or your children also mix. So this is why the second model will work with your group of mixed culture, mixed ethnic. And in this second group will work only when you are flexible and not just try to make mono, because it's not going to work anymore. The third we call partnership. Well, we will go in detail later on about how they work. And number four, we call integrate. And that's the most advanced model that we could talk in the end. And we go in more detail that monocultural. It will work as long as you have enough people. And your culture is strong. Like I would say that why Chinese in America, after 100 years, they still have Chinese church. Well, first, they have a big group. And secondly, new people from China still coming. Thirdly, the culture is very strong. The Chinese culture lasts for 4,000 years already. So wherever they go, they will last a long time. So when we talk about culture, it's different from language. Language is part of culture, but it's not all. You know that a lot of Chinese churches in America, when they move down to second, third generation, they use English language, but they're still Chinese. So you see the language go after the first generation, but the culture still lasts on many, many more generations. If your culture is strong, the people will keep marrying amongst their own people, and they still keep their culture. And they still prefer to go to Chinese church, even they don't speak Chinese anymore. So the second, the third generation might mix marriage more, but they still prefer to come back to Chinese church to keep on the ancestor culture, but not language anymore. But you see, the first model can last long. After 100 years or 200 years, if you have new people coming, you see that the first generation know the language, but after second, third, they don't know anymore. But if you have the first generation keep coming more and more, so you can keep going the language for that group of people. But you still need to have another service for the young generation in English. And we're going to talk about that later on, that some different model on the second and third generation if you want to keep the monoculture. Call yourself Mian Church, Chinese Church, Lao Church, or Thai Church. For the second, third generation, even you don't speak your language anymore, you need to keep something, and you need to give something. So if you look at the monocultural of Chinese churches in America after 100 years, they will have different congregation in one building. They will have the Chinese congregation for all people and new Chinese that coming to America to keep it go on. And they will have another congregation for young generation speak only English. And they have their own pastor. They run their own service. It's like two separate churches in one share one building. But they share budget, they share leadership, they share a lot of things. But they are two different congregations. That's how they keep their monoculture at a Chinese church. They can keep going on 100, 200, or even 300 more years. Why? Because their culture is very strong and new Chinese still keep coming. And as long as there are Chinese people, the Chinese church in America will keep going. Now, you talk about Lao church. Any more Lao people coming after the war? No, we don't see many. How about the Mian? More Mian coming? Well, very few. The Thai still coming, But the different reason is, in the past, the Thai who come here stay. But now most of the Thai who come here to school, to work, will go back. And that is one big problem. When they go back, they take everything back with them. So the future is not clear for the Thai church or Thai monoculture. But for the Lao, for the Cambodia, and for many other minority, you need to look at how to survive in America for the second, third generation. Monoculture still work for you? Well, if you want to keep that on, we need to find a model that can keep you go on. Now look at the friendship model. I also already say that it's more of the mix, because your people, our people, get married with other group of people. And some other group people like your church, like your worship, and come to join. So now you cannot keep just one culture anymore. You have to compromise, accept something, change something, and try to unite them as the family of God instead of the Mien church, the Lao church, the Thai church, but as the family of God. That will come from everywhere. But majority still have to be one group. But you open up and you share your worship, you share everything with many people who want to come to join you. So how this model will work with you? Well, it depends on your goal. If you feel that in the future your church will survive or grow this way, you can keep going on, but you cannot hold on your one culture anymore. You need to be compromised. Something you will lose, something you will gain. You won't get everything. And the first thing you will lose is your language. Your culture might last a while. If your culture have a lot of good things and strong culture. If your culture is weak, very soon you will stop almost everything. But God did not call us to keep our culture or language. God called us to keep our faith. So this model we live in, we are building the family of God. So we keep people to know God and closer to God. It doesn't matter where they come from, as long as they love to be with you, you welcome them. So this is something that will work well if your culture is very acceptable to other people and you intermarry with other group of people a lot. To start with, your children are the mixed and your culture is welcoming other people. So this model will work with you well, but still, in order to survive in this model, you need to know your goal, what, why, and when, and what you try to do. So you need to talk with your leadership if you want the second model. And sometimes people say we have no choice. It turned out that way. Yeah, sometimes it's not your choice, but it look like that is the way you have to be. Now, number 3, we call partnership model. This is something it's not exactly mix of anything. It's almost like one big church have many departments. It like that the church sponsor different group of people to share the facility and to have their own congregation, but they all go under the same church. They call like Lao department or Lao ministry, like Kong Sai group. You might call that they're under this model. They are partner with American Church, become department of American Church. And the American Church taking care of them. They can worship in their own language culture. as long as they need, under the supervision of big American church. But how about partnership model? Since you are just a department of American church, and when you don't have your own freedom, you don't have your own decision making, your church will function as long as the American church still want you, because they provide the facility. They might provide some money to support your work. When they change committee, they change the pastor, and their vision change, they might close your department, or they might cut all the budget to support your work, or they might kick you out because you are just a department of the church. And as long as they see that you function well, you're not a burden, you are a blessing, so they will love you and keep you. But one day when the new group or new leadership come in and feel that you are a burden, you're not doing well, and you not really make them look good, and that is the last day your group going to be there. But a big American churches will not kick you out, but they will absorb you. What that mean? Mean that they go slowly, they take your children first. They say that your children don't speak your language, so your children go to join the Sunday school, join the youth activity, and they try to integrate all your children first. And then all of you, the old one, will have a few options. They might let you worship at your own group for a while until they don't see that you function well. They will offer you to join them. I'll cross down. So it happened in some churches already. And I know that many Lao churches already go to this model, mean that absorbed by the mother church, the American church, become the department, or just go to be their member completely, because the children already gone many years ago, and now the old people also have to join the American people because they don't have enough to function, and they don't do well enough for American to support them to have their own congregation anymore. So they was absorbed into part of American church. So the third model will happen when you're not strong enough and you don't have enough people, and you have a big mother church who can sponsor you, support you, at least for the first 5, 10, 20 years. But after that, who knows the future? So this is the third model that a lot of us went through, and a lot of minority church went through this model. You either join the mother church, the American church, or you move away. A few of you who left after a lot of things. Number 4 model, what we call integrated model. This is from the beginning. You see, the third model is they offer you option. First, you are independent under them. You do everything under them, but you have freedom of your own worship in that model 3. Model 4, from the beginning, they want to absorb you right away. Mean that you come to be their part. Your children join the Sunday school, your youth join the youth, and your adult join the Bible study and join the service. And from time to time, they might recognize your group as, oh, this is the Lao group, this is the Thai group, this is the Mien group that come to join us. And sometimes they invite you to sing your song in your language in some special occasion or something, but you are part of them. You are not a Lao church, you are not a Mien church, you are not anything. You are just part of big American church. So this is the model that will happen in the future for a lot of us. And for many already happened now. But as I say that God did not call us to preserve the culture, the language, but God called us to preserve the faith, the family of God. So all you and your people need to pray well and see what model God wants you and your group to be. Well, there is some good thing and you might call minus and plus of each model. We can talk more later on. Which model will you think that will help you, your group, the best for the next 5, 10, or 20 years? I don't talk about right now, but some of you right now, you already need to find a model that will help you. But how you think about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what the future have for your group? Okay, I will stop share a little bit and come for your reflection and question. 5 years, 10 years from now, what will happen to your group? Which model that you think you will be? The first model, monoculture, or what?
Maybe in the future, no more own language. Gotta use all the same English, maybe.
Yes, that's for sure. Your children will speak only English, but your church, which model that you think your church will be? Still single, Mian group? Do you think your culture is strong enough to stand the changes?
I don't
Wow.
think so.
I think from now in 20 years, we still have it. We still stand up.
Okay. Until your generation die off.
Until my generation die, and then might be is go to American.
Why?
And right now for us to just do the best and serve God the way we can.
Yeah, I can
And
see why the Mian cannot survive at monoculture because no new Mian coming.
yes, no new Mien and no new Laos.
Yeah, you're right.
The first,
There only fews come in for the marry. That's it. They cannot come in a group no more. But I think from Laos and Vietnam, we still have our Mien people and have a Mien church over there.
Yeah.
Only the United States.
Why in Laos and in Vietnam still can do it because they have more.
Yeah, because they have a village. They not stay in the city. Then outside. They have
Okay.
their own village.
Oh, okay, that's a good answer. They will keep the culture a long time because they're far away from majority
Yes.
people. So that can keep them that way a long time. So you decide that your main church in America will hold on 10 more years?
I think more than 10 more years.
25 years, at least.
We still have a young pastor, like they speak Mien.
อื ม
Like
You know, this is some Thai churches in Los Angeles doing. They import pastor from Thailand because they cannot get any Thai pastor from America. They import it from Thailand. Well, it will work for a while, as long as you still have enough people to support the work. But so far, the one that import cannot last long because a lot of difficulty of adjustment and support.
Yes.
For example, you think how much a family of pastor can survive in America, and the church can fully support the pastor. That's difficult.
That's really difficult.
Mm. So it means that your generation, you just want to keep the monocultural as long as possible.
We
How you
just try to go along,
how you think
along
about
down to the world.
the Lao churches? You think that they have better chance? Uh, 30 years ago, there are more than 100 Lao churches in America. Today, I think you can count finger.
Achan, I think is for Lao is more faster than Mien, I believe. Disappear
Yeah,
because
because
they become a Christian and less than Mien people. But the culture still Buddha. I think is what I guess a little bit faster than Mien people and Hmong people.
yeah, I believe so, because if you look at more than 100 Lao churches in America in the past 50 years now, it's just a few left. Most of them become American department or just integrate into American church already. They turn to model 3 and 4 already. They go a lot faster. And you see that all minorities start with model 1. It's like the racing car model 1. Oh, they call Formula 1. Well, that's the reality. As I say all the time, God did not call us to preserve culture or language. So don't cry for that. But to preserve the family of God, as long as your people or your children still go to church and take part in church, it's still good. It's still good.
Achan, I see one more thing right now. I study over. I see like before the Mien church split and split and split. Like Richmond, we only have one church. In 40 some year, we have a 4 church. If we continue split like before, I think that we still can go for a little bit longer, because we have if they split and then they force a new generation to continue it. If we split and then we don't have a new generation who going to take care, I believe something like that's more better. Right now, I can see it like that.
Well, God can use anything for his church
Mm.
if we do the right way.
Mhm.
but after split, we have to make friend again.
Yeah, that is the point. I think so, Ajahn. That is not split and then you are enemy. No, 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 no. Yeah, we have to turn back and make a friend.
Yeah, you're right. Paul and Peter have some disagreement, but they're still friends and they still work together. So we need to do that. You know that I mentioned something about the young adult want to invite me to preach in Sacramento in March. Some of the super conservative want me, don't go, don't go. They say that this group of young people very liberal.
Because they don't let the people who age over 50 to go. Right, Ajahn?
They say not over 55 or
55?
or anyone younger than certain age.
Hmm.
But more than that, some people say that they're liberal in their theology. So I don't know. I say I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you can face with Maceo again, Ajahn. I believe Maceo will be interpreter.
Well, I just feel that God wants me to go to share and to bring them closer to God. I have no agenda about what they're fighting for or fighting together for what. Okay, you see that we have a lot of work to do. Each one of you represent different group, different culture, language, churches. And you know that we need to work together to survive, not just to make a big thing. It's already difficult enough because we don't have more people and the old people dying off. And we need to make the church healthy and strong and try to inspire our young generation to keep on working. Now, how you think our young generation look at us? They think we do a good job? You ever ask your young generation how they think about your generation? Well, I will leave you to think about that. Let me come back and share the rest of the note and we can talk more. Well, this article will talk about why we still need a single ethnic ministry. You see that majority of the churches in the future are going to be multi-ethnic, but they still say that we still need single ethnic. Why? The main reason is people, especially new people, will respond better with people who speak the same language with the same culture when you try to reach out. Because, for example, if the old Mien guy will never respond to American pastor who's trying to speak English to them, but they will respond well with someone who speaks Mien, understand the culture. And that is the mission. Why all the missionaries need to learn the language, learn the culture. And if you already know the language and the culture, why not use it? Why you try to make them learn English and they don't feel comfortable? So you see that the main church will have need for the people who still speak Mien and still stick with Mien culture. At least the first generation, you still have a lot of work to do, still hundreds of thousands of them. and then will never change their culture until they die. And you see that even the young generation who still stick with their culture, they still want to be in one ethnic church. You might be surprised that second or third generation of them still proud to be a certain group of people. They still prefer to go to the church of the ancestor, even they don't speak their ancestral language anymore. So you see that somehow we still have a need. Some people say that in the future we don't need language church anymore. That is not true. The language church will always here because they still need, and people still need it. And they say that try everything. Don't say that this thing will not work, this thing will work. It depends on situation, it depends on people. But be open to try everything and be flexible to change. That means the mixed way. So I think we all have to learn how to be flexible, adjustable, and change with the need of people. If you love them, you will be flexible. Some people say that I won't change, I won't do anything. This is my way. Well, that is not right. God put us in the job of saving soul. So whatever we can do to save them, we will do. Now, people say that you need to go to Laos, go to Vietnam to save the Lao people. Well, a lot of them already live in America next door to you, nearby. Why don't you reach out to them first? And they need salvation too. So your church can do a lot of things now. Instead of trying to go overseas, take a lot of money and time to go there. I don't mean that you cannot go. We all should go at least once in our lifetime to see what's going on. And it's mostly not for the people there, it's just for you yourself to see the mission field, to be inspired by them and to be blessed by them. But majority of us going to end up in America, reach out to people who are already here. And that is what God wants us to do. So your church will all be here, and they always need. So don't think that no need anymore. There's still some new people coming. And believe me that 20, 30, 40 years from now, there's still going to be some Mien church that speak Mien and keep Mien culture to reach out to Mien people. And the Mien will come from everywhere to go to that church because they have a need. And it's going to be less and less, but we still have need. So I agree with you. You need to stick with what you're doing because God still needs you. When God calls you, it means that this is a lifetime calling. And you keep doing what God called you until the day you die. So how you think about that? A lot of things will happen, that's for sure. But you need to know what God called you to do and keep doing that. And you don't need to worry about other people calling or what other people doing. That's their business with God. Your business with God is to find out what God called you to do and keep doing it until it's done or until you die. That's two options. You think there is another option? Or until you don't want to do it anymore, so you quit? I don't think that's an option. Now I want to put a question before you. In the past, I saw some churches tried to survive by open a language school in the church. They teach free language, like Lao language, Thai language, or Mien, or Hmong. And there's some parents who send their kid to learn the language because they want to keep their culture, their language. And the language school will last for a few years, as long as the church can provide teacher. There are always some students who the parents want to send them there to church to learn language on Sunday. Besides, instead of let them watch television or play computer game all day. So they will send. And after many years, the church evaluated and found out that most of the parents or the kids who come to language school never join the church or never care about anything at church. So most of the churches who open language school will close down the language school because they feel that this is a waste of time, waste of money, waste of energy. So how you think about that? Who is right, who is wrong? The church should not open the language school, or the church should keep going with that?
I think should go in
Why?
because we need keep the generation. If for each one's got to be speak more than one language. Otherwise, we cannot communication with other.
That's a good idea, but I found out that most churches cannot find teachers who committed to do the work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifice. If you use some member who volunteer to do it, they will do it just for 1 year, 2 years, a few years, and done. They won't do it anymore. Some churches hire someone to teach, pay someone from outside the church to do the project. But the committee will complaining that we waste a lot of money and nothing. Better use the money for something else. So finally, they have to close down again. You can think of better way to bring people to your church besides have a language school.
It's hard.
Some churches offer free pizza on Friday night for the young people to come to join the youth program.
A few days ago or yesterday, I come up with thought about this. One of the best way is try to recognize people need, like if they're sick, pay attention to them, go visit them. If they need assistance, like counseling or things like that, pay attention to them and help them, so they see the whole point of church and all the whole point of Christian is not gaining wealth or famous, but what is it that will bring God glory? That's the whole purpose. And if we bring people to the church, help them, help the needy, That is what God wants us to do.
Well, in America, American churches do another way.
Okay.
American churches will reach out to the young, famous, rich, high educated, instead of the poor, the old, the homeless, the hopeless, because they are burdened. So you see that all the big famous churches in America go a different way. They do all the program for the rich, the young, the famous. They do their church at concert hall. For the young, for the famous, for the people who can afford it. That make the church even bigger, more money, and more successful. How many American churches that will going out to help the sick, the poor, the addict, the prostitute?
We
You-
do. Our church do. We have a lot of mission that go out to the neighbor and help the elderly and fixing thing, cleaning thing.
That's great. But not many churches do that.
But still, you're right about
Mm.
bring the old and the sick. It is a God want us to do, except that in terms of human success or church success, it drain the wealth.
Mm. So what we're supposed to do, and in reality, is always not the same thing. But I don't want all of you to lose hope. We're serving God who is almighty, and God can do anything. We are just part of what God using us. It's not our burden. So if you think that this is your burden, you cannot carry it too much. But if you think that this is an honor that God allowed you to serve Him, and that make it a lot easier for you to carry that. It's not success that God looking from you or want from you. It's your faithfulness that God looking from you. Expect from you faithfulness. So find out what God called you to do and keep doing it. We learned a lot about things, but the intention is for you to have more options and see the world allow you. But still, we can do what we can do. And we can just try many more options that we learn. Some will work and some might never work. It just did good to know that people from all over the world try many different ways and something worked for them. But it doesn't mean that it will work for us, but at least we can learn, we can try. I love the story that Rick Warren always tell people who went to learn from him in his church. He have a school. And pastors from all over the world went to his church to learn from him and they want to copy his style to make another Rick Warren church in that country, in that city. And Rick Warren said that, no, you are not me, and your city is not my city. If you copy me, everything, nothing will work. You just come to learn and find your new way. Adjust it and make it work for your people, for your city. But most people just copy and fail. So what we learn, a lot of things that work everywhere might not work with your group, but at least you can try and find out what will work the best. You always have to adjust it and fix it. Some people say that I already buy the best. It's supposed to work everywhere. Well, it's not about church. We work with people heart, people mind. It's all different. We're not working with a machine that will be the same response every time you push a certain button. No. We work with people's life. So God is faithful as long as you keep doing what God called you to do. It's not about your success. It's about your faithfulness to God's calling. So at the end of the lesson, what we learn is your church will last a lot longer than you think. And your legacy will last a lot longer than you believe. As long as you don't give up. People still need God. And you are the light that God put out there for your people. So when Jesus said you are the light, it means that your usefulness is you burn yourself to keep the light until the end. You are the salt. People need to eat you to feel the taste. Without eating you, without your sacrifice, you are no use. And you know the light is burning itself to keep light. Even the sun. You know that the sun every day that it keeps us light by burning itself to keep us light. And scientists try to calculate when the sun will burn down itself. No more. Yes, one day the sun will burn out itself. But the way the sun keeps light is very efficiency, mean that it by the nuclear reaction. It's not just by the regular burning. So you see that the nuclear bomb, it just need a little bit, but it gives a lot of power out. That's the way the sun burns itself. So if you try to do the work yourself, it means that you burn yourself the regular way. But if you let God use you, you will burn in the different way, in the atomic way. That means that a little bit of you will make hundreds of times more work, more result. And that let God do it in your life. Okay, we still have more time. Do you have any question concerning what we learned so far until chapter 4 now? about the future that we're facing. I want to put a question on you. How you enlist young people to join you in your work? Why the young generation want to work with you?
No young people want to join the church and work.
You ever ask them why?
I have to ask them why they don't want to work.
Any young people ever told you that you're so boring?
I try to keep them going, but I don't know, it's not maybe like Achan you say about we all light, but we not shy or what? We not shy the right way.
Could it be that we are not inspired by anything? When we are not inspired anything, nobody wanna be like us.
Well, I think that's a good point. People will be with you because they want to be like you or to get close to you because something in you. That's very normal. And when young people want to get away from us, it means that something wrong. Maybe we don't do what they like.
I know that young people, the most young people right now, they don't speak Mian in our culture. They only speak English. And then that time come when we try to teach English, and I don't think that's all English not good enough to teach them.
It
Fully understand.
seemed to me that either way we still have a problem. For example, Ajahn Swang keeps saying that American church try to get all the young and famous people and rich people, which is in a way it is true, because the way they do things excite and attract, but the way we do things is kind of calm and settle, and cannot have both ways, right, Ajahn? Today I read Corinthians chapter 1 verse 10. It said, am I trying to win the approval of human being or of God? Am I trying to pleasing people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. So other word is do what God wants us to do, not to be concerned about people approval. That's what it said. That's what he said.
You're right. But still, we need to find a way to reach out to other people too.
Yeah.
Paul himself said, I got to be a Greek, so I can work with the Greek. I got to be a Roman, so I can work with the Roman. It means that we need to be adjustable to different group of people so we can reach out to them. Well, this Christmas I went to many of your get together worship at many churches that I never been for many years. One thing I observe is I don't see a lot of young people. And you can tell me why. Why young people don't come to the gathering. I think in the past, 40 years ago, I see a lot of young people. But the last 40 years, I never joined because I go to be with my family for the last 40 years.
Maybe follow the time, like 2 semester, no, 2 semester before that Ajahn teach that from 1900 come to 1950, 60, 70, and then the church, less and less and less. Probably that's the time, and the young kids move out, go to the college. They don't want to come back, and not even the Christmas time. We don't see that those kids no more. Very few.
You know, our school started Thai-Lao school, and I teach in Thai for the first almost 20 years. And then we switched to English because this is the only option now. If we still keep teaching in Thai, a lot of you cannot attend. So the language go first, even in the first generation.
Oh, สบายดีคงซ้ายจันคงซ้าย
สบายดีแค่สบายดีทุกคน Sorry coming late because I have to do some had a meeting with some other couples. Yeah.
Okay. We talk about tonight about the four model of the future church that we can do at a minority or ethnic church. First, try to keep the monoculture, mean that Lao church, Thai church, Mien church, Hmong church, and keep it as long as possible. The second model is mixed, mean that whatever majority in our group, we just accept it and mix with different culture, with different language. That the second model mean mixed. The third model is become part of American church, become the department, and function under their supervision. Give our kids, our young people to them, and just keep the old people. That's the third model. They can provide facility, support some, as long as we still have usefulness for them. And one day they might close it down or say bye-bye. That's the third model. The fourth model is what we call, it means that we are not function as a church or mission anymore. We become fully American church ministry or department. That means that it's under them. It's just like a small group of people under them. Their ministry, their mission or something. And we will last as long as the last of us still need it. Or until the leadership decide we still useful for them or not. So the fourth model exactly is the mix. Mean that we do anything to survive. We change, we keep adapt all the time. So the 2 and the 3 is the same thing. It's just a little bit different. The fourth is the mix. You just mix anything and flexible to survive as long as possible. So that's what we talk about tonight, which model that we're going to be. Well, as we decide, it depends on our situation and our people, and also our culture too. How strong our culture is, how big our group is, and how many new people that will come to support us from our country. It depends on many things. Well, and we talk most of the main church still going to be model one, formula one. Still going to keep the first monoculture a long time. The Thai church might go for the second model, mix with anything that going to keep them alive. And I see most of the Lao group in America choose number 3.
Ajahn, that means we have the first model, and then even though we don't speak English, our generation no more speak English, but no more speak Mien, but we use the English. But do you think we're still keeping in the Mien culture?
Yes, like the Chinese, if your culture is very strong, even they don't speak Chinese, they still call themselves Chinese church. Because mainly they still keep Chinese culture.
Yeah, God's will. We were thinking that could be longer in the USA. But if I predict, I think, if we have a country, yes, for sure. If we don't have country, we gotta be the fourth model for sure.
Okay, let's go to review a little bit. Integrate model, partnership model, friendship model, mono, friendship, partnership, integrate. Well, they call beautiful name, mono, friendship, partnership, and integrate. So that's just how the future is going to be. And whatever model you choose for your people or your church, it's okay as long as you still function and your people still have a group to worship God.
Our motto is under, stay under them. They let us, do whatever we do in our own language. They don't even come and bother us. That's good. I like that motto because we have freedom to worship in our own language and then, and do our own thing and govern our own way. So that we still under them, under the umbrella. Yeah.
That's good. You see, if you have a strong, healthy mother church, no problem. But if you have a shaky, not stable mother church, it might be some problem in the future. To be model number one, you need to be healthy enough to stand on your feet. Mean that you're independent. You help yourself, survive by yourself. And you can do whatever God leads you to do. So if you want to keep model one, your outreach might not be a lot in America because you don't have a lot more people in your culture, in your language that coming again to America. The Chinese, you have a lot, million of them still coming every year to school, to work, to live. But I don't think the Lao, the Mien coming anymore. They might come a few, but not hundreds of thousands like before. So your outreach might have to go further to help them in Laos, in Vietnam, in Thai, or in China. So you still can do a lot of work. And when I say do a lot of work with people in Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, China, I don't mean that all of you have to go there. Now the internet reach out to the world. You can have a class, you can have a Bible study or anything can join you from all over the world. You ever try that? Start a Bible study class with and invite people from all over the world to join you, like what Kat tried to do. I think that's a good thing. Try to reach out to many people all over the world. You still can build a church that way. And maybe Kat can share with us how he do that ministry with many people from many countries.
How you do too? You did that too, Carl. You share first, Carl.
Yeah, so we start 2019. Yeah, we start Bible walk through Bible. So from Genesis, and now right now that we just finished that 2 Peter. So pretty soon we go to Revelation, and then we done, and then we don't know what we do next, but we have another plan probably to plan out, see what are we going to do after we finish that Bible study.
People enjoy it.
I see that's only the old people, the retiring people coming in, so no young people, and we don't know how long going to be going because I don't think we have a generation for this kind of Bible teaching. But people enjoy it right now. I see a lot of like lonely people, like one person, and old people, they don't have nowhere to go and no friends, and they like to come enjoy us and study. And every morning we start from I think like people start coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we start the Bible teaching on 6:15 until like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So we finished up.
Wow, you do that every day?
Every Monday to Friday.
My goodness, for 3 hours?
Sometimes John, we got to 11 o'clock.
Wow. So people don't have any work, anything to do.
That's why we don't see the young people. John no younger than me.
Oh,
Everybody's older than me and Carl.
okay.
You know?
I think You need a two group. One group for young people have to be short. For old
That's
people,
why we try to get the young people and then try to form. Yeah, I try to form another group for my son, Ajahn.
Mm,
We're talking about right now. So if my son cooperate with me, and then I will try to do another one with the youngster. Try to see how it's going. If they going to same level, and then I think it's the good idea too.
yeah, young people have to be shorter than 1 hour.
Yeah, for young people, maybe about 30 minutes, 20 minutes, that's the max time for them.
So these people they really not just coming for the Bible study. They about the prayer,
Mm,
about the sickness,
mm,
and about the sharing story,
mm.
and a lot of needing, a lot of needing.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's good. So you can keep that go on, but I think for different group, you need different time. You cannot do the same thing with young people. Mm.
And I think that um along uh the generation still here, and then
Yeah.
we think it still keep going, but
Mm.
when all the generation, the older generation is gone, I think it's gone. So we have no more generation to continue it.
I heard about the Mian radio, what they do.
Mean video,
Yeah.
they still do and share the good news allow
Is
the
it
world.
every day?
I think every morning.
For how long?
I think hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like they have every day they have like um just like service we have in the church.
I see.
Yeah.
Mm.
They do like every day. And they
So
have a people work with.
they have singing, preaching, like service, huh?
Yeah, just like service.
But every day,
Every day, yeah.
7 days a week.
I believe so.
Oh, that's good. So the men have doing very well. I think the Lao, the Thai have to do more, or the other group.
Ajahn,
Yes.
I listened to the when they come into the new year, and that day they talked about that a lot of people is in Vietnam.
Mm,
There's one church. That time, Kay and I and Yao Chen's family, we went to the they call Zanfin Church.
mm,
Right now they have like because a lot of young people to be the leader,
mm.
and right now they have 1,100 members,
Wow.
and they have each service they had to like youth for one service one time, and the older and the women's groups, and that I heard that they talked about Laos and
Mm,
Thailand, but
mm.
that's Vietnam. A lot of young people to be leaders. But I heard that they talked about in Thailand they have maybe is 4 churches, but that the same like
Mm.
as U.S. right now. One is this morning I heard that they say 30 people. Some church is only like over 15 people and 40 people. But in Vietnam, and what I know, this church is a lot of people right now.
Oh,
The
thank God.
youngster to be leaders. Yeah, for us right now, we don't have young people. That's why I told Kay for the Zoom, maybe we have to create one for the young people. But we don't
Yes.
know what God is leading right now. So we have to pray and see what God is going to lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good news. Well, good to see young people want to serve God and excited about learning the words of God. We should support them.
Right now for Mien culture is that Vietnam is just strong, really strong.
Great.
And Laos not that strong, Thai is not that strong. And Vietnam's a really strong church. They have a lot of young people, generation to generation right now.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So think about it, pray about it. We should do something for them. Okay, I will give you allow 20-minute break because we put two sections together, so you have a long break. We will come back allow 7:35. So I will shut down for allow 5 minutes and you can sign back in class, okay?